So hey guys, good to have you. This is Essay. Thanks for being here with me on my YouTube channel. So today we'll be looking at Canada latest milestone of 40 million population. So this came in this month of June, over last weekend, the weekend of June 16th 2023. It hit a milestone population of 40 million, and I'm sure this is very applaudable to them. They're so excited with this great milestone. So let's look at some of the comments on Google on what they are saying. So this is Canada's population has surpassed 40 million, fueled by immigration. The latest Statistics Canada figure revealed. This is an exciting milestone for Canada, said Annie Aurora, Statistics Canada, Chief Statisticians of Canada. It is a strong signal that Canada remains a dynamic and welcoming country full of potential. So that's what I actually want to leverage on. So aside the fact that Canada is one of the country in the world with very strong economy, great GDP, great GDP per capita, that's for individual, it has a good diverse and cultural qualities, which is drawing people to Canada. So we would know that a lot of time people say, oh, Canada is extremely cold, but people are still coming in. They've even increased. That's how what they had 2021 to 2023. They've had about 1.5 million. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because at then it was about 38 point something million, and now it is a little above 40 million. So that's about 1.5 million immigrants that have joined them, and also maybe those that have also been born that have joined them in Canada here. And according to the statistician, this is fueled by immigration, and they say because the country is full of potentials. What are the potentials in Canada that immigrants are looking out, that immigrants are tapping from? Of course, Canada has a very stringent or a strict visa processing. So for anybody coming into Canada for any reason, study, tourist, work, skilled and unskilled, it has to go through the rigorous processing of scrutiny. And of course, once your documentation is correct and everything is right, you would get you. And also you have the financial support, or you have the financial ability. Let's put it that we have the financial ability. Definitely you would get your visa approval. And I even would say in the last few years, a lot of people say, oh, Canada isn't as hard or as difficult as it used to be. They're a bit very liberal. Even the last time we could hear that when the minister for UK said, oh, they're not going to grant students or immigrant visas with their families to come, Canada had an open hand and said, you know what, they're family oriented. If you want to come, you come, as far as you meet all the criteria required for your visa application for any category of visa you want. So what is in Canada that people are really running into? For me, I've been here a few months. I would say one of the things I like most, yes, there is never a perfect, in almost all my videos since I started talking about the economy, I would always say there is never a perfect economy. But what distinguishes a developed nation from a developing nation, a nation who is growing and wants to improve, is the ability for him or her to use some of the natural resources they have to achieve what they want. That is great strategic thinking. That is great strategic planning. So I would say Canada is a process oriented. For me, Canada is a very process oriented. Even aside the visa processing, they're getting into the country. Just realize that Canada is process oriented. Everything you want to do, you have to go through the process and you get it done. You have your email address there, they send it. I like whatever you just want to do, put in the right figures in the right place, put in the right documentation, and you get your answer. Even as since I got into this, like I could say I have barely spent cash. Most of the things we do or I do are online, except maybe very rare cases. Of course, there are exceptions to every rules. There are exceptions to, but at all, again, what is driving people? Why are people living with the extreme code that is talked about in Canada around? Where people still say, you know what? Because I would always say the mind of man is very adventurous. People want to go. Okay, Canada, they said, oh, is the greatest. Is one of the greatest land at the moment. Let's go and check what is happening there. Technological ability, other business energy, other business opportunities are there. You work even as a skilled worker, as an unskilled worker, you get your you get your payment, your taxes are being deducted, and you see what the taxes are used for good roads, for infrastructural development. Each of the province, they are very, very responsible and accountable for the growth and development of their province, which transcend to the general provinces. It has 10 provinces, 3 territories. We'll talk about that, each of the provinces after all. For now, I'm in Ontario. I'm still trying to get used to. Okay, now I'll also talk about the natural resources. Committed to improving the quality of life and ensuring the countries are developed. So the mission for Canada Natural Resources is committed to improving the quality of life of Canadians by ensuring the country's abundant natural resources are developed sustainably, competitively, and inclusively. English no easy. Okay, so some of the mineral resources that are here are energy efficiency, energy sources and distribution, mineral mining, climate change, maps, forest and forestry, indigenous natural resource and indigenous people, science and data, domestic and international market, public consultations, simply science stories. So these are some of the things highlighted here. I think there may be more to it, but this is the side for natural resources for Canada. So those are some of the resources there. So because they're able to manage these resources very well, you can see that is why people are drawn. People leave the shores of the country, travel far and wide, miles away, hours away on flights to their new land, where they feel the potentials are there for them to also have their input. I like the fact that the country appreciates each and every one. For every work you do, for every skill you bring in, you are rewarded for it accordingly. So those are some of the things that developing nations, that is the gap, let me put it that way, between developed nation and developing nations. So the gaps is what is making most people, and even some, there is an in-between them, which is the emerging societies. Yes, in my class we talked about them. That was the topic I spoke about, the BRICS. So we talked about them. So the BRICS and what they are doing to elevate themselves from being developing to developed, as they meet the matrix every now and then. People are still surprised like that places like China are still in emerging, Brazil, they are still in emerging countries, but definitely they will get to where they want to get to, because at the moment they're doing a lot. Here in Russia, they're doing, if not for the war in Russia, so they're doing a lot of things to make sure they transcend from emerging societies. They've emerged from developing to emerging, and from emerging they're going to get to where they want to get. So what am I trying to say in essence? Canada is a place, people, they acknowledge their natural resources, they acknowledge their human resources, and they are working on it internally, externally, with their trade partners. They have US trade, Mexico trade partners, they have other NAFTA, North America, so with all of them, and also international bodies, both other continents of the world, to make sure that they are able to manage the economy sustainably. So those are some of the reasons. So if you also want to put them in the comment section, let's talk about them together. I always like your views, because the world is a learning. Nobody is an island of knowledge, or nobody is a knower of everything. We do not know everything. We are all learning, putting our knowledge together at every point in time to make sure we hit or just get to or achieve what we want to achieve. So this is essay, and thanks for being here with me. Do have a very, very pleasant day. Bye.